What if your struggle with weight has less to do with burning fat and more to do with your cells, forgetting how to use glucose?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're looking at research that challenges the burn fat to lose fat mantra by pointing to a different switch, restoring glucose oxidation through the PDH enzyme, so your cells pick the right fuel at the right time.
I'm Alara Sky, and we're going to keep this focused and practical. When PDH is blocked, your system drifts into fat storage and low energy. When PDH is restored, glucose gets burned cleanly, blood sugar control improves, and fat loss happens while muscle is preserved. That's the through line connecting animal studies, human muscle biopsies, and fitness interventions.
The animal data are clear. Obese mice were first made metabolically rigid with a high-fat diet. Then PDH was reactivated with dichloroacetate. After 4 weeks, weight came off primarily as fat while muscle was maintained, and glucose tolerance improved. Starting treatment after obesity had already developed matters because it shows you can still repair energy handling even when dysfunction is entrenched.
The practical question is how you support PDH without DCA. 3 simple nutrients, vitamin B1, magnesium, and niacinamide, support PDH activity and raise the NAD+/NADH ratio linked to cleaner glucose burning. That's a direct, accessible way to push your metabolism back toward oxidation instead of storage.
Diet composition influences this switch. Lowering dietary fat, especially seed oils high in linoleic acid, reduces Randle cycle interference that blocks glucose oxidation. When you bring fat down and carbohydrate intake up appropriately, PDH reopens and energy rises. Healthy fat choices like tallow, ghee, and grass-fed butter fit this approach.
Human muscle studies explain why results differ from person to person. In lab conditions, muscle from lean and aerobically fit adults burned fat during fasting and shifted smoothly to glucose when insulin rose after meals. In contrast, muscle from obese and sedentary participants stayed rigid, poor fat use in fasting, and poor glucose oxidation when insulin signaled, a pattern that promotes fat storage and unstable energy.
That rigidity tracks with elevated circulating fatty acids. When fatty acids stay high, insulin's ability to stimulate glucose oxidation is blunted, mimicking type 2 diabetes patterns. The takeaway for you is straightforward. Excess fatty acid load that blocks fuel switching, so reducing dietary fat, especially industrial seed oils, removes a key barrier to metabolic flexibility.
It's worth noting that intramuscular triglyceride isn't the villain by itself. Endurance-trained athletes can carry high muscle triglyceride, but use it efficiently because their mitochondria are robust. Sedentary people store similar fat in muscle, yet can't access it well, feeding insulin resistance. The difference is mitochondrial capacity and timing, not a single nutrient.
Fitness interventions bring timing back online. In a 16-week program combining moderate activity with calorie reduction, fasting fat oxidation rose alongside VO2 max, and insulin-stimulated glucose disposal improved by nearly half. The strongest predictor of better insulin sensitivity was enhanced fat use during fasting, evidence that reteaching fuel timing drives real metabolic change.
That point often gets confused with just burn fat. The improvement in fasting fat oxidation reflected regained flexibility, not a rule to force fat burning at all times. When your system can pick the right fuel, fat during fasting, glucose after meals, insulin works better, energy steadies, and body composition improves without sacrificing muscle.
Fasting strategies need nuance here. Short eating windows can help some people feel lighter, but longer or aggressive fasting often triggers stress signals that suppress healthy glucose metabolism. If you're noticing hair loss, fatigue, or irritability, your carbohydrate intake is likely too low for stable energy. Widening your eating window and bringing carbs toward roughly 250 grams per day can restore oxidation and mood.
If you're deeply exhausted or stuck, eating every 4 hours can work better than pushing fasts. Use easy-to-digest carbohydrate sources, ripe fruit, white rice, and well-cooked vegetables, to keep glucose oxidation open. You're not chasing a number, you're restoring a fuel system that responds appropriately to real life.
Let's make the food landscape concrete. Prioritize whole food carbohydrates that digest cleanly, along with protein, while keeping fats modest and focused on stable options like butter, ghee, and tallow. Reduce or eliminate seed oils from your kitchen and limit high PUFA animal products from conventional chicken and pork. When you want structure, include ripe fruit, white rice, well-cooked vegetables, bone broth, collagen or gelatin, and, if tolerated, sourdough bread or masa harina. Occasional well-cooked beans fit after your digestion is comfortable.
Supplement support is targeted, not decorative. Vitamin B1 is a PDH cofactor and counters PDK, which inhibits PDH. Niacinamide influences the NAD+/NADH ratio linked to oxidation, and magnesium completes the trio. You can titrate magnesium citrate to bowel tolerance, then switch to L-threonate, glycinate, or malate to maintain benefits without GI upset. These inputs directly reinforce the PDH complex you're trying to restore.
Movement anchors everything. If your routine is either sedentary or only high-intensity intervals, add moderate sessions that your mitochondria can adapt to consistently. Walking and strength training are workhorses here. Even 20 to 30 minutes of walking after meals strengthens glucose handling and deepens the fat loss advantage that comes from better oxidation.
Consider the broader environment that keeps PDH active. Sunlight exposure supports cellular energy, and aggressively reducing seed oils lowers linoleic acid that disrupts mitochondrial function. If progress stalls after diet and movement changes, low-dose pharmaceutical-grade methylene blue prescribed by a physician can support mitochondrial electron transfer. The appropriate route is a supervised prescription at about 5 milligrams once daily, 6 days per week.
If you've tried to eat less and move more, and felt worse, this framework explains why. Calorie math ignores the decision points inside your cells. Repairing glucose oxidation through PDH, enhancing mitochondrial function, and restoring fuel timing give you a path to lose fat while keeping muscle and energy intact.
Here's today's challenge. Over the next 2 weeks, remove seed oils from your meals. Add 20 to 30 minutes of post-meal walking at least once daily, and bring your carbohydrate intake toward 250 grams using fruit, white rice, and well-cooked vegetables. Track how your energy, mood, and post-meal steadiness change.
Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.